It happened again. I was trying to get the car started this morning. It was struggling. I opened up the intake manifold and actually jacked up the car so I could drain out the fuel in there. And I was kind of feeling around on the intercooler piping and it felt a little bit oddly cold down here. So I popped the coupler off and sure enough, the whole intercooler was full of fuel. So that's why it wasn't starting. But it starts now and I'm about to show you guys. All right, Matt, I'll let you do the honors. Let me just make sure everything's connected. Throttle cable's not connected, but that's okay. I'll just do it with my hand. She lives! I don't know if this is what my cams are supposed to sound like and they never did, or if this is just a bad idle, but it sounds cool. Even though I did the first break-in oil change when we let the car run for a little bit, I wanted to do one more because when all that gasoline goes in the intercooler and in the intake manifold, it gets rid of all that crap that's in there. So I'm concerned that all that stuff went into the engine. So I'm doing one more oil change and then I'm gonna take the car for its first drive. Try to break it in, seat the rings. Everyone says the best way to do it is to drive somewhere between 2,000 and 4,000 RPMs, varying loads to kind of help the ring seat, then we'll throw it on the dyno. The moment of truth, I get to take her on the road. Just gonna keep the boost under 8 PSI. Keep an eye on the AFRs, adjust fuel pressure if I need. I just want to get rid of a lot of this 93, so I want to drive around for a bit so I can put an E85 and not just waste it all. The moment of truth, I get to take her on the road. Just gonna keep the boost under 8 PSI. Keep an eye on the AFRs, adjust fuel pressure if I need. I just want to get rid of a lot of this 93, so I want to drive around for a bit so I can put an E85 and not just waste it all. Shulman wants my old 93. He wants me to put in a Subaru.
I do, actually.
Scavenger.
Yes.
The only thing weird at the moment is that, you guys can't even see it. The car's idling super, what? It's just very temperamental with idling. I think my my O2 sensor might actually be bad from all that gas. Or it's just starting to idle really bad. That too. It just randomly got really rich. It just drove so nicely down the street and I wasn't even filming. What the heck? It was just that pesky little MAF clip. It just popped off while I was driving. Go figure. For using the tune that came off my old setup, I'm surprised at how well it runs. Listen. AFRs are normal. That's 2 PSI boost.
Probably.
Probably shouldn't go too far away from home just in case anything happens.
Yeah.
I should probably drive in loops.
Yeah.
I have to switch the car over to 85, which I'm dreading doing, but right now I've just been cruising around trying to use up some of my 93 and trying to get things warm so I can go over, make sure there's no leaks, nothing melting, nothing touching stuff that it shouldn't touch. All right, we got a cool little place where you can get a good sound clip. Nice little echo and everything.
Should I do it outside or?
Inside. I don't know if they can pull me over for not having like a hooded fenders.
It's illegal.
It's illegal?
No bumper, yeah, in Florida.
Oh.
But they don't really care sometimes, but it is illegal.
I suppose the main thing you can get me for is not having turning signals in the front. Technically I have turn signals, they just don't really work because they're bulbs dangling and I don't think they have bulbs in them. But to my lady cop friend from this town that watches my videos, I'm safe. I put my arm out the window and tell people when I'm turning from the front. I appreciate you not tattling on me. So I was just about to get home and we noticed a little ticking noise. Hopefully it's just lifter tick. I'm not really too sure at the moment. It just kind of randomly happened. I hit about 3 PSI in boost and it kind of sounds like lifter tick. I hope that's what it is.
Definitely RPM base. Definitely RPM base, for sure. Listen.
Pull the valve cover off real quick and it looks like I found our problem. Oh crap. Looks like it damaged the top of the valve a little bit. Or the retainer that sits on top of the spring. I just hope I can find those shims and they aren't lost. Looks like that cam's coming out. Poopy. see a little piece of metal in there that kind of scares me. It looks like the shim broke. No way. Well, the good thing is I know Alberto has extra shims at the warehouse. We found a bunch of them. But that's crazy. I just hope that nothing else is like damaged in there. If I remember correctly, pull off the rocker arm stopper first, which a lot of people say, oh, it doesn't prevent you from breaking rocker arms, which is correct, but it keeps them from bouncing around and causing more damage. So, we like them. It's so hot in there. This is not smart. It's so hot. Wow. Get out of there, buddy. Yeah, pesque little bugger, yeah. So the rocker arm doesn't appear as if it was damaged. Huh. The rocker arm looks like it was fine. So I wonder if it was just one of the shims that broke. Now's the fun part, trying to find the shims and wherever they went in the head. So this broken shim, I think, is what caused the failure. Or did both break? Because I don't think this is the piece from this, is it? Oh yeah, so it was a broken shim. Interesting. I didn't know that was possible. Everybody's gonna be like, oh, you should do the dual rocker guide conversion. I don't understand it. I thought it was a lot of work, but I guess it's pretty easy and you can do it yourself. It's probably something I should look into doing. I know people that would just weld this back together. I don't think that's smart. I think I'm gonna probably...
Oh.
No!
Yep. It's gone forever.
I got it. We're good.
Wow.
Alright, now's the fun part, Matt. We gotta search and find the other shim. Got the Lucky Under Oath playing in the background and I found the other shim, which is sick. It was like tucked back in there. I just stuffed the magnet in. I was like, you know what? I'll give it a shot. And I found it. This is fun. This is like open heart surgery. Except like there's a good chance that my patient's gonna die. So it's not fun in that sense, but cars. I feel like the rocker arms wiggle too much. Can you film this, Matt? I don't know if this is right or wrong.
I don't like that either.
Can you see?
Yes.
I don't know if that's normal or not, but it seems like a lot of play. Either way, lucky enough, in that bag of bolts that we had at the warehouse, Alberto had a ton of different shims and I was able to size one that was the right size. Measured it with the caliper, and it's perfect. So definitely luck out there. I loosened the chain tensioner a lot, so that should make it easier, but it's still tough. The moment of truth. Did I know what I was doing enough to get the car to run right?
What?
The factory heat shield, there's a, or whatever this piece is. I don't even know what this is. It's like a bracket. I don't know why all of a sudden it's deciding to rattle up against it. Maybe it's because we fixed the down pipe.
Yeah, it's probably closer, yeah.
But that'll be easy. You can just unbolt it. I don't know if this is the right way to do it, but I need a full tank of E85. And I got 93 in my tank. And I ain't got time to drive around. So what we did, let me show you. This is the ghetto way, or maybe the right way, who knows? I don't know.
It works fine.
I hooked a line up to the feed line on the fuel pump, and then I'm using my handy dandy little power probe to feed power, and then we got a little gas jug right there. Oh, she's filling up real quick. It's really important though not to suck the pump dry, so we're gonna stop before it gets empty. I'm watching my gas gauge right now. I'm really hoping that it was just like an odd thing that happened, that shim split in half. I'm hoping it's not something mechanically with the head of the engine. Because I think I'm just gonna send it and go tomorrow and get this thing tuned. And there's still a lot of stuff I wanna revisit, but I wanna get it tuned. That way the car's drivable and then I can kind of work stuff out, bring it back, maybe go to a standalone or something. But for now, I'm gonna take it for one more spin, make sure everything's okay on the car. I've got a cool little outside clip, and it's on E85, so I don't know how it's gonna run. I might need to adjust fuel pressure a little bit, but then we'll load it up in the trailer, and bright and early I'll get up and I'll drive all the way to Tampa, and Martin's gonna do a killer tune, and we're gonna be happy and have kids. Me and Nicole, not me and Martin. But that won't be for a while.
Uh-oh. He literally shot a flame the second he got an 85.
All right, we're loading her up. 2:30 a.m. Still making progress. We don't sleep. Team no sleep. All the YouTube channels have like sweet names for their fans and subscribers. I think we should be Team No Sleep because we don't sleep. We just do race car things and drink lots of coffee and hot chocolate.
Ooh, hot chocolate.
Guys, cool down though.
It's still going.
If only you guys could smell all the exhaust leak.
I mean,
The downpipe
oh yeah.
use a little bit of mocking up. The important side doesn't leak. Smells like corn.
It smells amazing.
Ooh, we should have a new name for my car since it's kind of like the color of corn. Instead of being like a cream mayonnaise homemade, it could be like creamed corn. That's my car.
Yes.
Creamed corn.
That smells so good. I love.
That could be like the next generation of this car. Instead of being the cream S13, it could be cream corn. Sounds so lame. Not gonna lie. It sounds really lame. All right, let's scrub that idea.
All right.
It's gonna be a double day video since it's really late and I have to get up really early to drive to Tampa. So yeah, see you in the morning. Also, just to address a few things that I was reading in the comments, it seems like a lot of people are really upset that I didn't go and buy an expensive standalone. That has nothing to do with money reasons. As you guys know, like I'm not opposed to spending money where I see it valuable. But the thing is, you can go and buy a super baller ECU, but that isn't gonna make your car run better. It's the tune that really matters. And I have a really good relationship with Martin and I really trust his tunes. So I wanted to get an ECU that he's familiar with and that he likes to tune with. He likes Power FCs. I had a Power FC, so it made a lot of sense. I didn't really think that the issue with the injectors that caused Nicole's car to hydrolock had anything to do with the ECU, and it may not. Either that ECU or that harness is cursed and caused the issue. I didn't mention it in the video, but that harness was doing something kind of weird when I was wiggling it. It was turning the fuel pump on and off, so I think that was just a messy, bad luck harness. And I did actually order the harness for my car, and I was planning on doing a brand new harness, but the issue with it was, I guess there was a website glitch the day that I ordered, so even though the order went through and I paid for overnight shipping, when I was expecting the harness to arrive, I got a call saying that the order never actually went through. So that's kind of why that happened. And I didn't think that the harness was bad. I was only really buying a new harness because, well, I just wanted it for like the aesthetic reason. And I didn't even think about Nicole's harness having issues. All three are Wiring Specialties harnesses. They're just of varying conditions and use. But in regards to the build and what I'm gonna do for the tune setup, I really want to just have it tuned now, drive it a bunch, and I'm more than happy to do it with the stock ECU. So I'm gonna do that, use one of Martin's RS Enthalpy tunes. And then a standalone that he does really like and that he tunes a lot on is called ECU Masters. I'm planning on using one of their ECUs in my 2JS15. So it would be really cool to have one of my SR as well, since I'll probably get used to diagnosing things on the computer with their software. But again, for that, I'd like to order a completely new harness, all fresh, and I'm potentially working out a sponsorship with a company that makes fuel, so I want to hold off because I'm probably going to be going back to Martin anyway in the near future to get my car tuned on a different type of gas, so it'd be very easy to do the standalone and the other wiring harness and kind of do everything at once. We got no sleep, stayed up super late, got everything done super fast. Like, I'd be crazy to not get it tuned. So some people get it, some people don't. I just figured I'd explain my reasoning because it's easy to assume things when you don't really understand. I don't know. All right, good night for real. Got about 3 hours of sleep, so I'm a little bit tired, but I'm feeling pretty good. I'm really excited. The only thing that I'm potentially nervous about is just some sort of mechanical failure with that rocker arm again. So fingers crossed that was just a freak thing. Other than that, I'm excited. My goal is to hopefully make somewhere around 400 horsepower with the car, which would be about 50 more than it made last time on the dyno. I think having E85 will help a lot, but the real limiting factor will be that turbo. Even though it's a Gen 2 Garrett and it spools like crazy and they make really good power, it's very small. It's more of like a response-based turbo, the 2860. So I think it'll probably peak out somewhere in the low to mid 400s and it'll stop becoming efficient, but we'll see. chain was off a half of a length, so we just pulled the valve cover off. Pulled out the chain tensioner and we got it fixed up. That's nuts. He was telling me if I had an aftermarket intake manifold, it'd probably bring the power from 426 to more like 480, and this line wouldn't really fall off that much, but my torque would drop from 400 to 360. So I'm happy having more torque and not having more power, because that'll really help me out for drifting. But that's crazy, and that was only at 22 PSI. The last time I was here compared to the time just now. It's crazy. You speed up much quicker at spools too. See how it spools. Sounds so cool. Oh my god, it sounds like a rotary! This thing is sick. Oh my god! Oh my god! It's so cool! Oh my god! Oh my god, it was so worth all the sleepless nights! Oh my god! Martin said not to really get on it in third too much because I will absolutely blow up my SR transmission again. That's very, very likely. Oh my god! Thank you, Martin! Let's see how she sounds real quick. I love this thing. Bye-bye. What a great day. I know I've said this in videos a bunch, but if you ever see like a truck or something trying to merge, try not to be that jerk that flies by them, because it is so annoying whenever I'm trying to merge lanes or get off an on-ramp or on and off ramp, or whatever you say. People just literally just don't let me merge and try to fly by me, and it's so annoying, and it almost causes an accident like every single time, and it's dumb. So don't do that. Not cool. Want to be truck drivers unite. You know, there's good people out there too. There's a very nice silver Hyundai, and he saw that I was having a hard time getting over, and he was behind me. He went into the other lane, and then he slowed down and held up traffic for me so I could get over, flashed me. What a nice guy. Not like, you know what type of flash I mean. I hope your family sees this and sees how great of a guy you are, stranger. License plate 2609S, Hyundai Sonata. We made it back in one piece. The car survived the dyno. I could not be any happier with the outcome of this car. It feels insane. The power is surreal. It spools so much faster. It has so much more torque. It sounds like a rotary, which I wanted, but I didn't want to have to deal with rotary problems. So I have a sweet rotary sounding SR. I was a little bit skeptical at first about getting rid of my old exhaust setup with the unequal length manifold, because I love that rumble that made my car have a unique sound, but I've never heard an SR sound like this. I'm sure there are ones out there, but I've personally never heard one, so I'm hyped. It's still unique. It can still be my thing. It'll be me Okay, some things that definitely need buttoning up on the engine bay that I'll probably work on tomorrow. Obviously I need to put the body panels back on. Martin says that the MAF needs to be farther away from the turbo. I guess the blade spinning causes some interference and makes it read kind of weird. So I'm gonna have to make some sort of intake pipe that comes through here. I actually had one for Nicole's car that was kind of like that, so I might be able to make something work from that. Also have to upgrade to some heat resistant nylon vacuum hose. I'm gonna eventually have to upgrade the oil drain because it's kind of sketchy the way that we did it. It's got a little bit of an exhaust leak, but the main stuff is just really that heat resistant nylon hose. Oh, and I also lost that little nipple here that would be used for the overflow for the coolant. Apparently it's like not even worth trying to get a new one in there. I'm gonna try using a tap and die and kind of like make something work, but I've been told that usually when that happens, you need to get a new radiator. So, but overall, I hope you guys are as hyped as I am. Maybe tomorrow I'll get some more like driving outside clips and other stuff, but it's kind of late and I'm very tired since I really only got like 2 hours of sleep, maybe 3 hours. I don't want to exaggerate too much. I love this thing though. I'm so glad I stayed SR. I mean, we'll see how she holds up, but I love it. I was talking to Martin about the stock ECU thing too, and apparently there's software that I can actually utilize. Even though the car is an OBD2, you can still plug into a, I forget what type of port it's called, and you can pull up the laptop and you can read like the vitals of the engine and know if like sensors are acting up and weird stuff like that, which will be really good. And in the meantime, until I go over to a standalone and go a little bit crazier with the setup. Oh, also another thing that could have made me more powered that I don't think I told you guys, I need to get rid of these coil packs and get some VQ35 coil packs. That's the cheapest option that still works really well. I guess all you have to do is get rid of this igniter, splice together some wires except for the black one, and then I can run probably a few more PSI boost, and I could probably make a little bit more than like 30 more horsepower. It doesn't need it though. It rips. It's sick. I love it. I'm also very, very proud and very happy and very stoked that we got it done as quickly as we did without cutting any corners. We got it done properly. We got a proper machine shop rebuild. Shout out to CW Pens. Shout out to Alberto Big Boost. Shout out to Randy from Surratt for painting the bay so quick. Shout out to Garrett for the rad GTx2860. I'm gonna do like a little bit of a comparison tomorrow and talk about the differences with the Gen 2 that I noticed compared to my Gen 1 2863, but it's a rad little turbo. We also have MPC hardware to thank. We have Deatschwerks to thank for the fuel setup. Thermal Zero for the turbo blanket that I'm yet to install, and the downpipe wrap that I have to do. That'll be tomorrow. Mazworx and Juku for helping us source all these parts and get them here in time. Martin at RS Enthalpy for tuning it, all the guys at Z Fever, all my friends that help me with little random things here and there, and of course big thank you to Nicole for understanding how crazy I've been going on this build, understanding that this is going to make the future of this car much brighter, it's going to make me much happier, and is going to let the cream machine evolve into the creamed corn. If you hate that name, don't worry, because I don't think it's going to stick, because it kind of sounds weird, but yeah. Thank you guys. I hope you're stoked. Make sure you smash the like button because my car sounds like a dope, sick, rotary JDM hot boy car. And I will see you tomorrow.